Hi, take a deep breath with me. Seriously, just for a second. Close your eyes if you need to, and inhale and exhale. Let's start from a quiet place today. I want to talk about something gentle and something that has been on my heart lately. And that something is learning. Now, I don't mean this in the institutional sense. Not college, not degrees, not trying to impress anybody with how much you know, I work in higher education, so I do see the value in earning a degree or a certificate, but I also know that they don't tell the whole story. I want to talk about a different kind of learning, the kind that keeps you tender, curious, and alive, the kind that doesn't come with a syllabus, but changes you anyway. That kind happens when you let life teach you. I think somewhere along the way, we made learning feel, exclusive, like it's only for certain people, or only valuable when it's attached to a certificate or a credential. But honestly, that is a lie. Learning is a human right. And more than that, learning is human rhythm. It's part of what keeps us whole. Now, you don't need to sit in a lecture hall to learn. You also don't need to write research papers to discover. You just need to stay open. Some of the most powerful things I've ever learned came from places that weren't meant to teach me anything. For example, grief taught me how fragile time really is. Cooking for myself taught me that nourishment is truly spiritual. Listening to someone I disagreed with taught me that being right isn't the same thing as being kind. Music taught me how to feel deeply and how to express what words could not say. Those things never showed up on a transcript, but they shaped me. They helped me become more of who I truly am. And I think that is the point. We are never done learning, ever. You are allowed to grow at 16 and at 37 and at 84. You are allowed to change your mind. You are allowed to outgrow beliefs, outgrow people. You are allowed to learn something and say, I didn't know that before. That right there is not weakness. That is wisdom. I want us to stop pretending that learning means memorizing facts or being the smartest person in the room. No. Learning means being brave enough to let your world expand. Even when it's uncomfortable, and even when it's inconvenient. So, how do we learn? Like, really learn? Well, you listen, you read, you watch, you ask, and you reflect. You notice when your body tightens in a conversation. That's a lesson. You catch yourself judging someone. That's a lesson. You sit with a book that challenges you. That's a lesson. You take a walk and see the world in a whole new light. That is also a lesson. It's not all in books, but also read books. Seriously, read. Read poetry, memoirs, historical fiction, essays, science fiction. Read it all. Read authors who don't share your worldview. Read things that make you uncomfortable. Not to win, but to truly understand. That is the heartbeat of learning. Understanding. You can also learn by listening. And I mean really listening. Have you ever sat in silence and let someone tell you their story without interrupting, without planning your next line, without inserting yourself into it? Honestly, it's vulnerable, but it is transformative. Sometimes the most powerful learning happens when we realize that someone else's truth exists right alongside ours, that it doesn't cancel ours out, that we can hold both. That, my friends, is called maturity, and that is called growth. Honestly, as a whole, it's love. We can also learn through art. Seriously, make something. Even if it sucks, make it anyways. Write a short story. Take those blurry photos. Start that DIY project that makes absolutely no sense. Do it. Learn to doodle in the margins of your paper. Do it, please. Art teaches us that progress matters more than perfection. It teaches us to experiment and reminds us to play. And play is honestly a legit form of learning. Yes, even for us adults. You don't have to monetize every hobby. You're allowed to do things just because they light up your life. And if you're like me, an INFJ, a bit of a dreamer, maybe a little too introspective at times, your best learning might come from the quiet. You know, when you journal, when you pray, when you watch the sunrise and realize you're still here. That stillness is sacred. And sometimes what you learn in stillness sticks more than anything anyone else could ever teach you. Learning is also about unlearning. Unlearning shame, unlearning fear, unlearning the belief that your worth is tied to your productivity, unlearning the idea that it's too late for you to grow. Because guess what? It's not. You are not behind. I can promise you that. Sometimes I really think we get too scared to keep learning because we think it means that we were wrong before. But being wrong isn't the opposite of growth. It is growth. You are supposed to change. When you stop and think about it, you can see how beautiful that is. You get to update your soul. You get to patch new windows into your understanding. You get to meet new parts of yourself through the eyes of other people and places, as well as perspectives. That's a gift. That's a kind of freedom. So here's my invitation to you. Don't make learning into another chore. Make it a ritual. Make it a love letter to yourself. Make it something you do to stay awake in a world that tries to lull you into apathy. Ask questions. Start conversations. Follow the rabbit holes that light you up. And know that every time you stretch, even if it's just a little, you're becoming more of who you were always meant to be. If no one's told you this today, I'm going to tell you this. You, my friend, are not stuck. You are not finished. You are not too far behind. You're still learning, and that's a sacred thing. So do me a favor, and do yourself a favor. Keep going. Keep learning. Learn with tenderness, with joy, with an open heart. Thanks for being here. Write in the comments what you want to learn and what your passions are.